So what we're going to be discussing here is the circumference girth measurements. We'll be talking about the benefits, the operations, the best practices around conducting a proper circumference girth measurement on an actual person. So as far as the circumference girth measurements, we're going to be utilizing a measuring tape as the resource of choice. The benefits of utilizing a measuring tape in the circumference girth measurements is, number one, it's relatively cheap. Something like this is something you can pick up in any maybe Joann Fabrics, even Walgreens, off Amazon. It's only a couple dollars, so it's relatively inexpensive for anybody that might be that might have their own business. Secondarily, it's mobile. As you can see, I just took it out of my pocket, so I can literally assess people's circumference anywhere, any place. Next, as far as maybe measuring progress and achievement of obese clientele, it becomes a little bit more beneficial than utilizing skin fold calipers because, as you may have read, utilizing skin fold calipers becomes inaccurate because it can only open to a certain measurement. So a lot of good features of utilizing tape in measuring any of your clients. As far as disadvantages, there's not too many because this is a great way to gauge progress for any client. But for many of your clients, when they want to assess features such as weight and or body composition, utilizing the measuring tape will not provide you a body fat percentage per se. So it does lack as far as providing information from that standpoint. As far as some other operational components, a couple other reminders here. Number one, you do want to utilize 2 trials. Just for accuracy, make sure when you measure your client from head to toe that you're doing 2 trials of it just for accuracy where you want to be able to take your averages. Secondarily, you'll see in most tape measures that there are 2 different forms of measurement. You have inches as well as centimeters. For today, we're going to be utilizing inches, which falls in line with your NASM text. And then lastly, a couple other best practices as well. You want to make sure that you are utilizing your resource of your body composition resource. Take notes when applicable. You'll see that from client to client that there might be some items where you need to take notes just because there might be nuances of one client versus another in which you want to remember. So more to come on that in just a moment. So what we'll do here is before I bring forward my client here, it's important to set expectations properly. And I want you to make sure that you understand how to set expectations in order to make your client feel as comfortable as possible. What you'll slowly learn in the real world is if you're ever taking circumference measurements on any client, it's very up close, it's very personal. And with that being said, your clients, they may or may not feel comfortable with you actually taking measurements, especially within sensitive areas. So I'm going to have my client come join me.